I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
We are tonight's entertainment.
It's showtime.
It's showtime, folks!
What's your favorite scary movie?
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Do it.
It's showtime.
If you were a fan of the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie and you're hoping that a certain character from the movie would cross over into the games, got some bad news for you. But we'll get to that in a second. We've got a lot of news to cover from interviews and all kinds of stuff from this past weekend at Summer Games Fest from a couple different people from the Mortal Kombat game developers and creators. Before we do that, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoy this video, go ahead and drop it a like. It's been a busy weekend. I've had a lot going on. I started a new position and started a new stream schedule and everything, so I'm a little behind the ball, I'll admit it. But we've got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get into it. Mortal Kombat was definitely a hot topic this past weekend, and several interviews gave us a lot of info. In an interview with Ryan McCaffrey of IGN, it was actually mentioned that CEO of Warner Brothers Games, parent company of NetherRealm Studios, actually almost spoiled the reveal of Mortal Kombat 1 during an earnings calling, but he called it Mortal Kombat 12. Ed Boon did reveal that Mortal Kombat 1 is built on the Unreal Engine, which is likely why it looks so amazing. But he didn't mention which version they're using. He kind of teased that it was kind of hinted that it might have been 4, a little bit of a more modern version of 3, but didn't really fully say which one. Ed Boon also mentioned, after throwing some shade at Midway Games for some less than stellar Mortal Kombat games, that Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11 have sold more than any other Mortal Kombat game in history. And that Mortal Kombat 1 has some big shoes to fill and definitely some pressure on it to perform well. But he also mentioned that the pressure is self-inflicted. So it's not like Warner Brothers Games is saying, hey, this needs to be successful, this last one. It's more of him saying, I want this to be successful. It's more of his own pressure. Ed Boon also revealed a few story details in an interview with Brian Tong, where he said,
so you'll see things like how Kung Lao came up with the idea for his hat, and how Kenshi got blinded and stuff. Actually, nobody knows that that's going to be in there. And
so that's kind of a big reveal he gave Brian Tong there. Previously, nobody knew that we were going to find out how Kenshi got blinded. So that's kind of a big reveal, like I said. But then he goes on to say that we will essentially learn how each character came to be how we know them. So it's a lot of origin stories, and we will see how each character, got their look that we know them for. Like, for example, we saw Melina's teeth come into be. We're going to learn a lot about the backstories of a lot of our characters and how they became to be so iconic with their looks. He did reveal a couple other things. He supposedly he dropped some names, but they got bleeped out. Because he apparently wasn't supposed to say that. So props to Brian Tong for, keeping the integrity and, keeping that secret. I mean, he could have just edited it out, but he bleeped them out and even put things over their mouth so we couldn't read his lips. But either way, Ed Boon went on to reveal more about the Kameo system. The Kameo system started off as fighters having weapons to assist them, like Sonya having a drone and Kung Lao apparently having some kind of attack hat. I don't know. But then it led to Kameo fighters, the Kameo system as we know it. And as mentioned before, we know that Sonya, Kano, Jax, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Goro, Stryker, and Kung Lao are all revealed Kameo fighters. However, they definitely pulled some trickery in the trailers because, according to Ed Boon, the Kameo fighters are not in story mode.
I've been kind of explaining to everybody, the Kameo characters aren't part of the story, right?
And then he goes on to drop a hint.
So you're going to see a lot of classic costumes. You're going to see a lot of really obscure Kameo characters that are and give you a hint, some that kind of couldn't possibly be controlled characters are going to be Kameo characters.
When you said characters that can't be controlled, meaning what? Were not playable in the previous games but appeared in the games?
Yes. And so you're going to have a lot of, like we're going to have a long campaign
of revealing. These are deep cuts.
Deep cuts, really deep cuts.
Kameo characters that were not playable but are Kameo characters.
Yes. And so we're going to have a lot of, like, those really obscure appearances as Kameo fighters. And so we're really that's going to be a fun thing to start revealing to people.
So I want to know down in the comments who you guys think a non-playable character now being used as a cameo fighter. I want to know your guys' ideas down in the comments. We'll get to some more talk about cameo fighters later, but I want to know your guys' ideas down in the comments. Who could that mean? IGN has a whole video on the fatalities so far. There's actually a few missing, though, that I noticed. If you would like to check it out, I will leave a link in the description for the video, or you could just search Mortal Kombat 1 fatalities and click on the one from IGN. But in the video, we see that there are cameo fatalities, where your main character takes a back seat and lets the cameo character come in and finish him off. It will definitely be interesting to see how that plays out. There's going to be a lot of buttons involved. Ed Boon mentioned that it's just a shoulder button for the cameos to bring in, but with fatalities, there's always multiple buttons being pushed, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But so far, we've got cameo combos, cameo breakers, cameo fatal blows or x-rays, whatever they're called, cameo finishers, assisted cameo finishers, possibly from what I saw in the trailer. That's a lot. Ed Boon goes on to say that the 3D era will have a lot of representation in the game. Now, this is really big. I know a lot of people really dug the 3D era. I, myself, missed out on a lot of those games. So, I don't have the same love for that era as a lot of people, but I totally understand. And you guys are going to get what you want. 3D era will have a lot of representation in this game. As I mentioned at the top of the video, we talked about the Mortal Kombat movie. This is why. In an interview with comicbook.com, NetherRealm's lead system designer, Derek Kurtzik, was asked if the new protagonist from the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie, Cole Young, would be officially joining the Mortal Kombat universe, and Kurtzik simply said, "We're leaving that world to that world." Plain and simple. So if you're hoping for Cole Young, I know some people were hoping for Cole Young just to simply, finish him and kick his ass. But if you're hoping to play as Cole Young or unalive Cole Young, you're not going to get the chance. I'm sorry. Ed Boon has been busy on Twitter, tweeting and quote retweeting. One thing he quote retweeted was this image by Uncanny Carlos, a photoshopped image of the cameo characters, and Ed Boon said, "Carlos, it is uncanny how many of these you got right." Now, not all of them are right, but some of them definitely are. And in another tweet from Leo Tanya, I hope I'm saying that right, we get a breakdown of who is here, because I honestly don't know like half of these people. Again, I missed out on the whole 3D era, so I apologize for all that. But as you can see here, we have Chameleon, Tremor, Shadow Priest, Motaro, Moloch, Draman, Suhao, Striker, Kung Lao, Devora, Kano. They said that this is Kuai Lang Sub-Zero, and they're definitely using Kuai Lang's image there, but I'm pretty sure we got a good look at the Sub-Zero used in the cameo, and it's not Kuai Lang. It is just classic Bihan Sub-Zero. And then we have Sonya, Scorpion, Jax, Noob Saibot, which would be interesting to consider the fact that Bihan, as far as we know, isn't dead. Again, that could change in Mortal Kombat 1. If we're doing Origins and stuff, it could totally change. Who knows? And then we have Shinnok, Bo-Ray Cho, Goro. According to the Lutana, this is a mocap of some sort. It kind of looks like John Cena in a silver gray hat or something like that. I don't know. But then Shao Kahn, Cassie Cage, Movado, and then Farah. And we know that this is right because, as you can see there, Uncanny Carlos said 100%, checked off every person on the list. So that's the full list right there, as you see. Props to Lutana for coming out with all those names, because like I said, I had no idea. MK_habit_addict also got a retweet from Ed Boon saying that Blanche deserves a cameo, and Ed Boon had to say that that ain't a bad idea. So possibly we will get Blanche as a cameo character as well. Again, these are just teases. These are just hints. He could just be, trying to get hype for all of it. None of this could be real. Much like the trailer, a lot of it could be just, trying to lead us in the different directions. So that is it. It's a lot, but not a lot. Lot to cover. not a lot to cover. A lot was said, a lot was talked about. There's going to be plenty more, and I will do my best to cover it. I'm working a new schedule now, Wednesday to Saturday, 4/10. So I'm, like I said, working a new schedule now, and I will do my best to get these videos out when I can around my life, my personal life, my work life, streaming life, and everything else that I got going on. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you enjoy this video, drop a like. It means a lot to me. And with all that said and done, guys, have a good one. And don't forget to tip your DJ. Later, dudes.